What is up, YouTube? QAZWSX2541 here, back with how to make an FPS game in Blender. This is going to be part 2. Today we're going to be adding in the gun, ammo, clips, and that sort of stuff. And then in the next tutorial following that, we're going to add in the pickups and stuff you can grab off the ground, which should be fun. But enough chit chat, let's get started with this one. First thing we're going to do is go to File, Append, and then we're going to grab the assault rifle. And this is provided in the description. There's a link in the description. This is provided by tutorialsforblender3d.com. Awesome website. You should go check them out. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to select our camera, hit Shift S, cursor to selected, select the gun, hit Shift S, selection to cursor. With this particular model, we're going to hit RZ270 to get it pointed in the same direction as the camera. We're then going to drag this forward and off to the side by a little bit, and then scale it way down so it's nice and small, because this is just a gun that the player will see. We're then going to hit Shift. We're going to Shift select the camera, hit Control P, set parent to object. Go to the camera angle, we can select the gun and move it around to wherever we want it to be. And we can also adjust it like so. So now if we play the game right now, we'll see that the cube flies off of the playing field. And a lot of people had problems with this in the last tutorial. So I'm going to show you how to fix that right now. The problem is that this gun has physics set to it. And so the player cube is reacting to those physics and trying to get away from the gun, and it's because the gun is following the camera, which is following the box. It never gets away from the gun, and so it just keeps trying and flies off for infinity. So what we need to do is we need to select the gun, go to the physics tab, and hit physics type no collision. So if we play now, our cube stays nice and on the ground, and now we can run around with our gun pointing around. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add a gun sight that we can use to aim. So we're going to do Shift A, add mesh plane. We're going to do RX90. We're then going to go out of the camera angle and just drag it up in front of the camera. We're then going to scale it down a lot. Go to the camera angle again. Scale this guy way down, enter edit mode. And then you just make your sort of gun sight here, and then I'm going to hit Shift D, R90, and so that'll give me a nice little plus here. So then what we're going to do is we're going to select the sight, shift select the camera, and hit Control P, set parent to object. So now if we play the game, we also have a gun sight, and you'll see there the cube did fly off again, and that's because now this plane has physics set to it. So you need to go to the physics tab, go to static, and switch it to no collision. So now whenever we play, we can look around and we have a sight. And you'll see it's flashing different colors. That's because it's using the shading. So what we need to do is we need to select him, go to the materials tab, add new, and then just check mark shadeless. And that should make it so it stays one solid color. And of course you can change this color to really any color you want. Next what we're going to do is we're going to add a ray sensor. And we're just going to change the y-axis to negative z-axis and increase the range by a lot and turn on pulse mode. Next what we're going to do is we're going to add a keyboard sensor. We're going to rename this keyboard sensor to reload with a capital R, like so. And I'm going to use the R key on this one, turn on tap. Next we're going to add a mouse sensor. This one's going to be a left button tap, and we're going to name this one fire with a capital F. Then we're going to add a Python controller and wire all of these sensors into there. We're then going to go to the text editor, go to open text block, and then we're going to open Aim.py, which is in a link in the description below. And we're going to attach that to the controller. Next what we're going to do is we're going to add two properties over here. We're going to add ammo with a capital A, and we're going to also add clips with a capital C. Both of these are going to be integers, and then the next what we need to do is we need to hit Shift A, add a empty, plain axis is fine, drag this out in front of the camera somewhere, and then we're going to go to the object tab, and we're going to rename this to Aim. with a capital A. Next, what we're going to do is in the second layer, by clicking on that tab, we're going to hit Shift A, add Mesh Cube, enter Edit Mode, and scale them way down. Go to the Physics tab, we're going to set this guy to Rigid Body, and then just check mark all of these locks. This is just because of a weird physics glitch with the static type physics. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to rename this object to Bullet with a capital B. And then we're also going to just add a property, again with the, again we're going to put in Bullet with a capital B. Go back to our first scene, and we should be ready to run. So we switch the camera angle, full screen. And we can see whenever we shoot, the cube pops up. And if we shoot enough, you'll notice it just goes away. And that's because we ran out of ammo. But of course, we couldn't tell that. So what we need to do is we need to turn or check this eye here, go to Game, and Show Debug Properties. So whenever we go to the full screen, you can see in the top left, we have ammo and clips. Of course, clips is at 0, so we only have 10 rounds of ammo. I'm going to set the clips up to like 3. And we can change the rounds in the script right here. Right up there at the top, it says rounds equals 10, and that's just saying how many rounds is in a clip. So we play, whenever it gets down to 0 rounds, we reload. We can also hit R to reload if we want. So then let's say we want to add an object that'll react to this. We can do Shift A, add a cube. I'm going to drag this guy out in front of here. We're then going to add a collision sensor, and this is just going to look for the property bullet. And of course you can put anything you want in here, but I'm just going to make it so it ends the object. So I'm going to do edit object, end object. So whenever we play the game, you see we can aim at the cube and we can click and it dies. So that's going to conclude this part of the tutorial. At this point you should have a first-person shooter with one gun where you can run around and shoot the cube, and you can also fall through the world. Bye! So that's going to conclude this part of the tutorial. Thank you guys very much for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.